Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit day 9 of Sheermas, and it is definitely, starting to come to a close. We have only a few more days left, not too much left to do. So, let's just talk about it. The big event, the big Wabowski. Everyone knows that Sunday Christmas is coming. Soup knows, and he's just walking around my room trying to get my attention to let me know that Christmas is coming. Soup, it's coming. It's coming, Soup. But yeah, Christmas is coming. That's the topic for today. Not necessarily that it's coming and that, how to be prepared for it or whatever, but more so just a reminiscing about Christmas stories, Christmas fun, everything to do with Christmas. And I guess we'll start with what it means to me, because obviously, everyone has their own meanings for everything. Some people think X about Y, some people think Z about Q. So there's a lot of different sides to the stories that you hear about and read and all that jazz. And Christmas is a lot of different ways to take it. Some people just care about the gifts. Some people care about seeing their family. Some people care about hanging out with their friends. And none of those things are inherently the wrong thing to celebrate about Christmas. Because again, it's just a day for you to enjoy. Because again, it's all about joy. It's all about having a holly jolly, motha-flippin Christmas, baby. And that's however you do it. If you just want to relax the entire day, no gifts, no nothing, just sit down with your cat or your dog or your pet or whoever and enjoy the day, and by all means do it. No one should be able to stop you because it is Christmas. And that's your day, your family's day, however you celebrate it. So I hope you find that way for yourself and enjoy it. But for me, personally, I love spending it with anyone who's willing to spend it with me. So usually, for the most part, it is my family. Especially lately, since we haven't been in, Brooklyn, where all my friends are. It's pretty much only my very basic family. So my mom, my brother, my sister. My brother is my sister. I was going to say brothers and sisters, but then one of my sisters was gone, so then I just singleize both of them. Either way, my brothers and my sister and my mom. That's pretty much the whole. Last year, on Christmas, I was working, but we're closed Christmas this year, so I'm very excited about that. So I get to spend even more time with them. And honestly, it's just great, because, especially after all granted, alright, it may not look like I've been doing a lot for these 12 days of Cheermas. It's mostly just the same thing as you've been seeing, just 12 episodes of silly nonsense, but it does take some time for me, because I'm not very good at this. I'm not very, well-versed in the editing style or whatever, so I'm just not very good at it yet, so it still takes me a while to get things going, but so that takes time. So having Christmas off will be nice to just enjoy it with the family. I feel like that'll be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the last couple live streams. Those have been a ton of fun to do. I just really hope that you guys enjoyed that stuff. But, yeah, so Christmas, I just like hanging out with the family. I used to go out with my twin sister, with our friends, and just have a really wacky time at one of their houses. We did, Secret Santas and stuff like that. It was always fun. But nowadays, it's more just about chilling with the family and having a nice time. Because I just like having nice times. If you are with me and we're not having a nice time, something has gone very wrong. Because I try as hard as I can to not make it a bad time when I'm hanging out with anybody. Because no one likes those experiences, No one looks fondly at the experiences where they're just yelling at their friends and just having an awful time, especially during Christmas, especially in person. In person, I like to be as just fun as I can be, even though I'm not exactly the most fun person. But I don't know. At least I don't think I'm the most fun person in the world. But I don't know. It's either way. Not what we're here to focus on, right? We're here to focus on Christmas, and what better to talk about than Christmas, than my past experiences with Christmas. So I've already talked about my my family, not my family, my friends, gathering, doing Secret Santas and stuff, and we just watch. There was one Christmas I remember distinctly where, not distinctly, 'cause I don't remember much of the giving of the gifts, but I remember what we as a group did. We sat down and we watched the Jim Carrey's Grinch, and we all sat in one of my friends' house, and we had just one couch that we all sat on, and then there was like one of us sat on the floor. It was a fucking disaster, but it was 6 of us that day, and that was such a fun day. We just watched that. Oh, it was at night. It was at night. I think it was at night. I'm pretty sure it was at night. But yeah, we just did that, and we had an absolute blast, you know. So just the good stuff, just all around great stuff going from there. But I feel like that's just anywhere you go, especially if it's friends and family involved. You know, you're gonna have a good time. At least I will. So, but let's talk about, you know, my family more specifically, right? Because you wind up spending, at least for me, I've wound up spending most of the day with my family than anything else, you know. So back when I was a kid, we used to go crazy on Christmas. We used to go crazy for every holiday, but Christmas especially was always just an absolutely insane time. You know, you could, anything went with Christmas, or just any holiday. Again, Christmas specifically. So when I'd say up until around like 8th grade, you know, well, not 8th grade, like 6th grade. How Christmas would go was we'd start off, you know, at our home. You know, we'd just do stuff at our home, have a nice time, you know, just looking, you know, enjoying the view, you know, opening presents from close family, and we'd talk and be like, "Wow, this is so cool," and like we'd pick our favorite thing, because then our favorite thing would come along with us when my aunt came to drive us all to my grandma's house, and we'd have to do it in 2 trips because none of us knew how to drive. We still don't. So my aunt would pick up half of us, and then she'd come back for the other half. And usually the first half consisted of my older sister, because my cousin would already be there, and they wanted those two were thick as thieves. They pretty much still are, but yeah, they were thick as thieves as kids. So they always wanted to be, you know, like the people who got there first. And then sometimes if like one of my other cousins that I was thick as thieves with, if he was there, then I would also be in the first car. But it usually consisted of like my 2 sisters and like my older brother, and then like it would be like me, my ma, and my younger brother going at the other way around, or however the heck the car situation went. But and then we drive. We drive there, and it wasn't a long drive. It was like no more than like a 20-minute drive tops. Like, but I always got car sick, especially as a kid. Oh God, getting car sick for me was pretty much just a definite on any car ride that we did, a car journey or anything. So, you know, I'm not really that surprised that I kept getting sick on the, you know, just existing on the car rides. Sometimes I throw up on the way to Christmas, but you know what? It's fine, because we always pack a spare shirt, and we'd always pack, like, just stuff to be prepared for that, because, you know, everyone kind of expected me to start throwing up. They got used to it eventually. They're not necessarily used to it. They understood it was going to happen. We just had to be prepared for it. So, but then, you know, if whether or not I threw up, I'd get out of the car, and I'd see the freaking beauty that was my grandma's house during Christmas time. They went all freaking out on Christmas, like genuinely all out. Like they went nuts to butts, absolute ham on their Christmas decorating, outside and in. Outside there'd be lights all across the roof. There'd be like a bunch of stuff in front of the house. They had like a little yard, so they have a bunch of stuff there. They'd have everything. They'd have so much crazy stuff. But then you'd go in, and you'd see a spectacle. Like, honest to goodness, a spectacle. It was... You'd enter the room, and then there'd be like a main, like a foyer, even. Not like a foyer, because it's not huge. It's not like a fucking mansion, but it was like a little entrance room. And then it would lead into the living room, then it would lead into the dining room, which would lead into the kitchen. It's all like kind of one big line. But this main room that you'd walk into would have the tree. It'd have a bunch of lights in the room. The lights would be like the main lights would be off in that room, but the Christmas lights were on. So it was like you enter like a Christmas tunnel with the tree and like 40, 50 presents, probably sometimes even more, just all under the tree and like around the tree. And there'd be like in piles. So there'd be like 9 or 10 different piles of just gifts, and it was so fascinating. It was just such a fun time. You'd walk in there as a kid and you'd feel like you're the most important person that day, that year, because it was so magical. And then you'd get inside, the living room would have a bunch of lights on it, the fireplace would be on, lights on the fireplace, stuff hang up all around the TV and the chairs and everything. And then you'd sit down, you'd like wait for everyone to show up, and then you'd have like a quick snack or two because you're too impatient to, just sit there and wait. So you gotta have a snack or two. And then you'd open presents. How we opened presents was one at a time. We'd like one person opens a present. Okay, now you open a present. 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 Either did it like that, or we just have everyone just kind of go nuts to butts. What are you gonna do? Just everyone open their own things separately, and then it's just whatever. Sometimes people just got a little too zealous, and it just wound up being a fucking free-for-all, insane style craziness, crazy train. It was always good fun. I love doing that stuff. But yeah, so we'd open the presents, and then we'd eat dinner, which would always be amazing. Because, well, I say it would be amazing. Maybe for everyone else. I was a picky ass kid, so even if I would have liked the stuff that they made, I never even bothered trying, because I was that kid. I was that asshole who was like, no, you didn't make me freaking just garbage. I'm not interested. And you know what? Fair enough. I wasn't interested, so I just wouldn't eat. Like I'd eat like little things or just quick things or whatever, but I'd never have like the actual stuff, like stuffed shells and stuff, like just ham. And nowadays I eat that stuff and I love that stuff. Stuffed shells, especially my aunt's stuffed shells. Oh my god, they're so good. Those are amazing. I love those things. Just ricotta cheese with bellissimo. But yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. And the thing is, again, I've mentioned this last week, but someone in their family was a little bit more, picked out as the favorite than some of the other of us. And again, no harm, no foul. I didn't care. I might have cared a little bit back then, but I definitely don't really care at all now. But yeah, so I remember one year specifically, they had we also had stockings, so you had quick little stocking stuffers. Those were always, somehow the stocking stuffers were always so cool to me, like sometimes even more than the actual gifts. I don't know. I favoritized the most interesting stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed the stocking stuffers a lot. And at one point, hello, Soup. It's almost Christmas. He's such a sweet man. I love this dude. If he was all I got for Christmas, then I'd love every Christmas if I just got a new Soup every Christmas. But back to the story. Soup, sorry, stop interrupting me. One year in particular, there was a massive stocking. Like, I'm talking huge. And it was, of course, for my cousin. And what they did is, she'd, dip her freaking hands in there, and there'd be, her presents would be in the stocking. So it would be, this huge stocking with, massive gifts in it. And then at one point, it got, it was towards the bottom, so they, grabbed her by, the legs and, lowered her into the stocking to grab her final gift. How... That is insane. That must have been so cool. And I am incredibly jealous of that. Not, to the point where I'm like, why couldn't I get the the stocking thing? Obviously, I wanted it, but I wasn't going to be an asshole about it. Oops. Gosh, Christmas was always such a fun time. And that's because even if someone got, more than you did, you'd get upset about it for, a second. And then you'd be like, you know what? This is still a really nice time. I got these really thoughtful gifts. I'm going to enjoy these. I'm going to build my Lego. I'm going to play with my Pokemon toy. And I'm going to enjoy the day. That's what it's about. And you would. And you did. And then, as we got older, we'd still go over there. Not as frequently, but definitely we'd still go around. And then, obviously, less and less people were coming, less and less people were around. So we didn't exactly have as big of, crazy train fun times. But we were still able to enjoy ourselves. For sure, we were still able to enjoy ourselves. And, sorry, I get sidetracked so fucking easily. We had less people, but the older I got, the more I actually started to appreciate the people who were still coming. So I didn't think it was necessarily a bad thing. It was just that, like, I was able to appreciate them having been there before, and then the people who are still coming now. I feel like that was probably, like, a plus to the situation. But not necessarily. I would have loved to see more people, but I feel like the more I got older, the more I started to actually appreciate when people would come. Like the one cousin that I was thick as thieves with. We don't talk too much nowadays, which kind of sucks. But whenever I'd see him, he'd be like, "Holy shit, there he is!" Like, he wouldn't be there every year, and he'd always be super excited to come to my house and just have fun, and go to grandma's and just have a good time. Oh God. That dude is a really cool guy. But yeah, I mean, it got smaller, and then eventually it got to the point where my mom was like, "Let's just do Christmas here." We'll have our fun here, because a couple, like, it just kind of becomes that. Time passes, things change, and you're like, okay, we'll do Christmas here. Sure, why not? This was around high school, so or late high school, we'd do that. And we had fun, It was still the same things we did before, like, we'd wake up, we'd open gifts, we'd talk, we'd have a really fun, just wacky time. We'd spend hours opening gifts and just talking to each other and having a good time. And, like, some traditions were made, like, we'd make those, like, Pillsbury sugar cookie things, the greatest things known to man. I love those things more than I like other things. They're really good. Do not diss the Pillsbury sugar cookies. I don't think anyone would. It's such a damn good, delicious thing. Like, how do you disrespect that? How do you not enjoy that? I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And yeah, those were good. We have those every year. We're gonna have them this year. It's gonna be delicious. And one thing that, because we'd start, having things, more local, just like close family, we'd also tend to just not have a lot of things to do, because there's only so many people and only so many things to do, so we just pop on the old TV and just binge every Christmas themed, like, holiday special that we knew of that existed. So I'm talking like the Drake and Josh Christmas, which is arguably the best Christmas thing in the world. On, like, name a better thing. Maybe the Charlie Brown one. I don't know. There's a lot to love about the Drake and Josh one. Like, straight up, one of the best. Sorry, again, my brain I forget things so quickly. But yeah, like that. The Chowder Christmas special was always baller. I loved that. There's just a lot to love about Christmas specials, because they always brought out the happy in everything. Which, who doesn't like happy? Who doesn't hate happy? Who doesn't like happy? who doesn't hate being happy? Fuck being happy. Fuck that. That's baloney. That's baloney, bull poppin' tosh. Tosh.0. What? Okay. But yeah, just generally awesome stuff. Lots of shows. The Grinch movie. The Elf. I love Elf so much. Such a good Christmas movie. I've only ever watched it a couple times, but I watched it first in, like, 9th grade high school when my intro to law teacher played it for us. And I genuinely enjoyed it. I thought it was a great Christmas movie. I thought it was one of the best. So, yeah, there. I said it. One of the best Christmas movies. I'm sure most people probably don't disagree with that, considering it's just natural loved state. I think just about everyone fucking loves Elf. And they should. because Elf is awesome. But yeah, just all those things. You know, watching a bunch of movies, watching a bunch of shows, just really getting to enjoy the spirit of the day with everybody, and that those shows definitely help add some spirit. You know, in case you're lacking some good old Christmas cheer. You frickin' meanies. No, but yeah, we always had a good time with Christmas. And one of the most fun things to do was decorating. Whenever we decorate, because we didn't decorate too much, like when we had big gatherings, because we wouldn't really be at our house during Christmas, so it was like, why would we decorate super crazily if we're just gonna go over there? You know, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, you know, eventually. What am I keep stuttering and like stopping as if like I either have something to say or I'm like holding back from saying something, but I'm literally just forgetting what I'm doing. So, but there's that. But yeah, what? Christmas tree, right? Jeez, it's not been that long of a day. All right, it's like noon. It's 2:10. What is wrong with me? Decorating the tree. We love decorating the tree, decorating all that. We used to put like lights along the windows, but we stopped doing that because, I mean, what's that doing for us? So we mostly just decorate the tree nowadays. But that tree is always so fun to decorate. We have so many little ornaments, and we'd always gather around and place some ornaments on the tree. And this year was a little bit more special because this year, me and my sister, whenever we'd go out, we'd like almost always buy like one of those little like Cats versus Pickles toys, like the little stuffed guys, and with that we would like, you know, I guess like open it as like a little ritual for whenever we go out. Not like a ritual, you know, I guess like a little tradition whenever we go out, and we'd see which ones we'd get, and we'd be like, oh dude, sick, that one's awesome. And, you know, we got some that we like, some that we'd like a little less, but overall still all bangers. Cats versus Pickles. Mwah. Get the cats. My sister found like a foolproof way of like sealing up the bag so you can get like a cat like 100% of the time. Which, by the way, it makes me so happy that someone like she found something like that to do, because I would do that with like Lego minifigures. Whenever I get a Lego minifigure like set, I'd always like feel up the bags, so, like I feel which piece I'd want in a thing, and like half the time I'd get it wrong, like very wrong, and fuck it up and get something I'd already had or just really didn't care for. But you know, not always. But yeah, so it's really just cool to see that that sort of thing can be used beyond Legos. You know, you can use it to tell if you're gonna get a cat or not. But they're also pretty big. Like, they're not like the biggest things in the world, but they're like a decent size. And when we got our tree, we were like, hey, what if we like stuck ornament hooks in these things and made them our ornaments? So we did, and I'll try to get a picture because it's really nice. It looks really fun. We put other ornaments on it too, obviously, but putting those up was a lot of fun. We ranked them all. 'Cause I had like 19, and she had like 23 or something, because she got a few more on like on days when she would go out, because sometimes I was busy or whatever, so I couldn't go out. But you know, either way, she still got one anyway. Sometimes she'd still get me one. And I'd be like, oh hell yeah, dude, fuck yeah. But yeah, so I'll try to get a picture of that. But the main thing I want to talk about from this year's decorating the tree, absolutely, is the fucking mess that was trying to put the lights on the tree. We have like big lights, like not like big lights, but like bigger lights and just like the tiny bulbs that you can wrap around it and it kind of looks okay. We got like those big ones. They look nice. Again, if the picture pops up, you would have already seen it, but it's just they're nice lights. But it took us like 45 minutes to get those on the tree, like correctly in quotes, because I don't even think we did it that great, but they look nice, so I'm okay with that. But we just unraveled all the lights, because we got them out of our bag, and we have all of our Christmas shit in. We had to unravel them around the ornaments and everything, and we finally got them all untangled. And then we just took this really big snake, and we started at the top, and we just kept going around and around and around. And after like 3 loops of going around the top, everything got stuck. It got stuck on the bottom of the tree, got stuck on the branches, like 8 of the branches got looped in. And trying to unravel it just made it somehow get even more caught in the tree, so then we got it completely stuck in the tree. Which is just, I don't know how that's even friggin' possible. You know, like, I don't know how we managed to do that, because we unraveled it perfectly. Like, not a single knot was in it, and not even 5 minutes into putting the tree up, it was pretty much back to square one, except now there was a tree added into the freaking fray that was this disaster of ornaments. Not ornaments, the lights. And eventually we got it untangled, and we tried it again. We didn't really update the plan or anything, so me and my twin sister, we just kept going at it. Didn't do shit, and we got stuck again. And it took even longer to unravel that time. At that point, my mom was just like, let me help. But I'm like, no, we got this, Mom. No way, we're professionals. We professionally at this. It's not really about getting the lights up. It's about the experience, It's about the experience. And what an experience it was. Because eventually, as we're unraveling it, we're like, hold on. We have an idea. What if we coil it and then pass the coil around the tree? Because it's kind of in the corner, so it's kind of hard to just loop the tree around, like walk around it. So what if we just coil it up and then uncoil it as we put it around the tree? Which is absolutely what anyone with a brain would have thought to do in the first place, but we don't have one of those. So we just said, hey, you know what? That's a good idea. And we finally did it. Took us like 40 minutes to get those lights up. But we put those bad boys on, and that looked nice. That looked solid. And it was just really nice. And it is really nice because it's still up today. It's Shadoy. It's really nice. Again, the picture was already shown, so I'm not going to show it again unless I choose to. I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, Christmas, just good times. Like... And one thing I forgot to mention was going home from my grandma's house. We'd always take a detour through the Diker Heights area of like Brooklyn, because their lights were fucking beautiful. They would spend thousands and thousands of dollars to just make their lights as pretty as possible. They'd like have like these big like reindeer lights, like as tall as the house, just like standing right outside, and then the entire house would practically be lit up with lights and stuff. And then people would like drive through that block or two and just admire the fuck out of those lights because it was so pretty. I'm gonna try to find a picture online because I don't have any pictures. I didn't really have a phone around that time, unfortunately, so I don't have any pictures myself. But just the memories of it being like 11, 12 o'clock at night, going home, and just seeing those lights, like while I'm like half awake, just seeing the most beautiful lights I've ever freaking seen in my life, just going bananas. And like we're just like, whoa, and that's like the perfect thing. It's like a perfect nightlight. It's like a long-term nightlight just to get on, and then just as you're driving away, you're just like, oh man, that was lovely, because they're not like super bright craziness. It's not like they put a bunch of light bulbs on their fucking house and just lit it up. No, it's like nice like mood seasonal lighting. So it's like calming and peaceful and really, really something. Their electric bill must have been fucking awful. But you know what? They did it. Why? I don't know. But they did it. I ain't complaining. I'm sure they still do. Like that was a tradition for a long time, even before I was born, I think. So I can't imagine them have stopped doing it. So if you live around there and haven't seen the Diker lights for whatever reason, go check it out. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. If it's not, then I'll make sure to mention that in like editing or something. But just good stuff all around. Good stuff. Yeah, go and enjoy the lights. And if you guys enjoy putting up lights, you got some funky lights to show. Show them somewhere. I don't know. Just post them somewhere. Just I don't know. What do you want me to do? I don't know. Just I want to know. Maybe I always want to hear about it, because I feel like the lights are probably some of the more pretty stuff, and they definitely like send me anyway down like this nostalgic, just cheery nature of the holiday. because it's just such a charming atmosphere that those lights create, especially if there's like multiple houses in a row that have all different unique like just styles to them, but they're all still just really nice little holiday lights. Like, something about that just gets my freaking spirit risen from the dead. There's no dead. It just rises my mood up so much. And it's so cool. But yeah, I mean, Christmas is coming, ladies and gentlemen. So, oh Jesus, this chair is fucking crumbling apart. So I hope you're ready for it, because, oh Jesus, okay, this chair is like actually like sitting on like a fucking medicine ball. Is that what they call those big balls that you like exercise on? Medicine balls, right? I think that's what they call them. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm just happy to be here, you know. Happy to be around during these times. This is always like the holly jolly season, and I like to stay optimistic about things. I like staying happy about things. Happy is my preferred state of being. I feel like it's most people's preferred state of being. It's a state of being that I can frequent pretty easily by just being stupid like I normally am. It often creates very funny times, which keep me in a nice holly jolly happy mood. But I hope that it's been cheering you up, been enjoying your time. Here is Jingle Bells on the slide whistle. I don't know how to play Jingle Bells on a slide whistle. I tricked you. That was just something. I don't quite know what it was, but it was something. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to talk about. I really thought this would go for a while. I'm sure if I sat here and just really sat here and thought about some stories, I'd have some weird, crazy stories, but Christmas was just one of those times where you kind of knew what was coming. You didn't know the gifts that were coming, but you knew the experience that was coming, which is just a great time. You know, it's a time to enjoy, time to relax and unwind and just be with family and enjoy it. And that's the times that I like to be around, you know. That's the spirit that I fucking live for. So, I mean, yeah. I think that's about it, honestly, guys. I mean, I know it's a bit of a shorter one, but you know what? If anything, let it be shorter, because let that spark your interest in, you know, just saying, hey, you know what? This is a shorter episode. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to go chill with my family over there. Because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in high school, if you're in college, or whatever. You're home right now. Doesn't matter where you are, you're home. Go spend the day with people that matter. Spend the day with the people you care about. Or go spend the day however you damn well want to. Because, hey, it's about you. You know, don't put yourself into some crazy zone that you don't want to be in. If you just want to chill at home, just watch shit all day, then hey, something else is probably around the corner. If you just look for it. Speaking of around the corner, tomorrow will be something new for the 10th day of Sheermas. Yeah, Jesus. Sorry, again, this chair is a fucking disaster. Here's a quick old preview of that. If you won't take this one for the team, then you don't eat the poop! Yep, we're back at Death Road to Canada, baby. It's gonna be a nice little story time for you guys. I really think you're gonna enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in to day 9 of Sheermas, everybody. The 9th day of Sheermas. We're almost out of here. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.